Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie. This reading could resonate if you're a Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. I say could because it just won't resonate with everyone, and that's okay. Only take it if it does, and remember there is no gender, so if I pull a queen, I could be talking about a guy, a girl, anyone. It's all about the personality that I describe. You'll know who it is. If you'd like to book any private personal reading, the information is in the description below. I'll also pin it in the comments. Okay. So we start off with bad habits, and we have unfazed, surrender to the divine, full moon, a time to give rather than take, moon and Virgo. Communication is key, moon and Gemini. And we have still pond. I am at peace. I observe my breath and my mind is still. I am a still pond. With mentalization, understands one's own mental states as well as others. Tell me about this, please. So I feel like, this says bad habits, drugs, addiction, toxicities. Maybe there's someone that, because I feel like this is a no communication thing here. And I think in your mind, it's like this person is unbothered by some type of separation, or maybe by like you not talking to them. I feel like what's happening here is that you're sort of like waiting for a person to communicate, like, but I mean like in the correct way, to really tell you what you need to know truths about, or really tell you what's going on with them. I kind of feel like you've always sort of like been in the habit of being this person's caregiver. That's kind of like the bad habit here. Um, I do feel like for you, though, it's not like an easy energy like you are without a person that you kind of want around you. And so it's hard to just be patient or this still pond energy when you yourself feel like there's like withdrawal symptoms of like being away from a person. So I feel like you kind of give up though. You know, it's like you throw your hands up, like you've tried to actually mentalize with this person, communicate with them, see what it is that's going on. And it's like they don't, the world. The Ten of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, Justice, Libra energy, the Empress, Libra Taurus, the Devil, Capricorn energy, and at the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Swords. The Moon is here too. Here's the thing. This is just a question, you know, because I feel like Leo, I can keep it real, you know. When we go no contact with a person, you know, and we expect the change out of them, are we paying attention to this Devil Moon Nine of Swords energy? You know, it's like, are we still paying attention to another person's behavior toward us, which seems like they're unbothered by me not talking to them, you know, and trying to process that in some type of way? Or what looks like here is sort of manipulating situation. Like I've tried all these healthier ways to try to like get my point across or to get you to tell me what's up, you know. So now it's kind of like manipulating the energy. Then I'm not even going to talk to you because, you know, I want this change to happen. And I feel like here it's kind of looking into that, where it's like there's actually changes that need to be made on your end based off of what it feels like when you're away from this person and how obsessed, you know, with this person you actually have been. Because I don't feel like that's exactly where you are now, but there's definitely this codependency with this person. There's this fear that this person, you know, would leave. And I feel like this was sort of like a way to almost like abandon them before they could do it. And they seem unbothered by it. And so to you, it's confirming that like you were just never anything to this person. This is like, you know, some energy though, where someone really is consistently looking at another person and what they're doing and how they're not changing. And this can always be in the reverse. You know, maybe that's how this person is always coming at you. It's like you're the fucking problem all the time and you're the one who needs to change all of these things about yourself, you know? But what they can't do is mentalize. They can't actually see things from your point of view or the other way around, however it's resonating, to see where they come in wrong, where they're not communicating, where they're not changing, where they have these ideas about a person that may or may not be correct based off of fear. Um, Somebody's become more self aware, but they're not all the way there yet. If that makes sense. Whatever end it's on. You know, it's like, you know, this would be kind of the energy of like where you have this relationship and afterwards it's like, well, this person's not completely to blame. I'm an idiot. I, you know, choose narcissists and I pick all the bad guys or girls. And, you know, it's because of my trauma and it's never I showed up wrong in this relationship. And currently, I'm still showing up wrong because I'm trying to manipulate a situation by going no contact with a person to hurt them, to try to force some type of change in their life. And I mean, is that even love? Like, if I sit around all day just trying to figure out how much another person needs to change, do I love them or do I love their potential of what I think they should be? Is it realistic expectation on my end that this will ever be who this person is? And I feel like for a lot of you, it's in the reverse. This is what you learned along the way, is that like this is who another person is. But you learned a lot about yourself in this too, where you were deeply insecure, where you were able to be toxically attached to someone, where your traumas or triggers lie, or just your insecurities. Sometimes it's not that deep, but a lot of fear and almost feeling justified in manipulative behaviors. And this, I think, might be a thing on both people's ends because that's just how toxic relationships work. Like in this feature, you could be deciding you're not going to talk to someone because you feel like they should be punished for, not speaking on or correcting something. Um, and their response to this is to also manipulate, act like they don't care if you're not around. They don't care if you don't talk to them. You're just crazy. Doesn't mean that's even how they feel, right? Because obviously you can sit here and act like you're good, you're unbothered, you give up. This person can come to you. There's kind of like an energy there with that is kind of unhealthy because it's not like truly being done with someone. It's like attempting to, again, like provoke change within them. And I can see that as, okay if it actually is ending. But if it's manipulation, it's to make that change for you, to do it on your time. It's not going to work. That's, I think, going to be the main problem. And it's not really different. It's like, can we see within ourselves how we're showing up and how that may provoke a reaction from another person? you know are we just making someone else accountable for some things that we are we kind of like blame shifting everyone? And for a lot of you, it's like this is what you question all the time. Or you've looked at from the past, or this is your past energy. But for some of you, this is a current thing where it's like consistently seeing what's wrong in other people, not really going inwards. Almost like a justification of one's behavior, but when another person does it, it's absolutely wrong. So I don't know if this is past energy for most of you or if this is a current thing, but there's big changes that need to be made with this. And it says here, time to give rather than take. So for some of you, this is, something that you're not seeing on your own end, is like almost like a selfishness. Uh, and I think that you're actually dealing with someone who, despite some differences, there's a lot of similarities in the way that the two of you show up in relationships. There's clearly some type of like bond there. That's an unhealthy one. But it's not going to get healthy if this other person comes out of their toxic ways, if you still have these tendencies to like try to manipulate or control a situation or get what you want out of someone by doing something extreme, then you're just going to still have some problems. So I feel like there's deep parts of a person that either you once hated or currently hate that you need to look at yourself with too. Ouch. Okay. What do they need to know about, look out for, be aware of with this? I also feel like you're highly just assuming how another person feels based off the fact that they're not having a meltdown or rushing to your house on a horse. Um, Kind of interesting. So, the Six of Swords, the King of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, Temperance, Three of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Cups. Saw her before too. I feel like there is going to be some communication here. Now, this is not I'm not doing the like toxic love read. I'm not doing that. I feel like kind of like the answers or the communication that you're looking for is definitely coming in. But I don't know if it's that you need to set boundaries with a person. You know, you're going to see where you need to really communicate boundaries, like really set boundaries with a person to sort of break a tie. I don't know. There's something here where like a person, they may just not understand you fully and you don't understand them just based off of two different attachment styles. There may be some type of recognition to this that helps you sort of like break free of this like toxic mindset about this person. But it's based off of what they finally say. And I feel like this might be preparing you where I'm saying like someone's not looking at their own behavior and their own like actions here. Someone's going to have a conversation with you where it is going to sort of like force accountability. So for those of you that are waiting for the communication, you'll have to be able to handle someone also telling you about yourself here without denying it and without making it about them. Because that's kind of the stepping stone to making the relationship healthy or really moving it forward. I feel like you still really want this person, but it's going to require you to also be mature on your end. Remember that part of empathy is being a good listener. I feel like I'm dealing with somebody here who sort of like will deny someone else's truth before they fully even listen to what someone is saying. Again, it could be in the reverse. But either way, this will require both people really like listening to each other, but also not just listening. It's how do you talk to someone? You know, are you capable of sitting down and having a real life conversation where you resolve the issues in a verbal way? This is what I need. This is what happens. This is what I don't like. This is what I feel like needs to be changed. But also listen to somebody's complaints about you and feel the same way. You're worth that change. I'm just kind of warning you to that you have to be able to be accountable for your own actions here and like the things that you also do and actually just hear a person out. There's also this level of abandonment that needs to be looked at. Like imagine doing to somebody what it is that you're afraid they'll do to you. Like what is that? Um, like if that's your deep fear, why would you want to do that to someone else? Is that really what is being done here? You know, is no contact a way to, you know, I don't know. I've seen people be like, "Oh, I watched this," and some, you know, this professional lady told me if I go no contact, it will like make a person melt down, and that. I mean, I feel like those are things that will make any person fall apart, though. Um, you just stop talking to somebody, that's gonna hurt them, you know. So I feel like you're looking at someone like they're the whole fucking problem. I'm looking at, or you were, or someone's looking at you this way. And if you're cross watching, somebody's just dead wrong here. I do. I feel like somebody's like looking at somebody that like they're like narcissistic, or there's just like something mental health related wrong with them, and maybe they're just more fucking secure than you. You know, maybe they're just not interested in putting in on the toxicity, or they are toxic, but it's because you're also toxic, and so the two of you will continue to be toxic if you don't both change. But it doesn't make sense to want to fucking be with a person and be over here playing games with communication to try to manipulate someone into being who the fuck you said they should be. You're supposed to love someone for who they are, and be able to work through things together. Like, I feel like that's what you want from a person. Can you do the same though? I feel like a lot of people have these issues. I'm not judging anybody. 90% of people cannot communicate. They don't know how to do that. But they also feel unseen and unheard, and they can't stand that. So it's like, in order for this or any relationship to work, you're going to have to be able to stand there and allow someone else to also speak their truth and decide that this is really how they take the situation. This is their reality, whether it fucking fits mine or not. They're not living from the same perspective and perception as me. Instead of looking at someone like they're some type of psychotic monster, a sociopath, or so. I feel like I'm really talking to somebody who kind of looks at, someone in that manner, where it's sort of like, how am I showing up in this that is also toxic and unhealthy, and how do I change my behavior pattern? It looks like here, this is the problem. Can you shut the hell up and listen? And instead of like screaming at somebody, can you just communicate? Or, the other way around. Again, take it however it resonates. It seems to me like there's a lot of like childish energy. Everybody wants what they want, and the communication is not like what it needs to be in order to really resolve things here. The energy is kind of looking like somebody who tries to, avoid the conflict, sweep things under the rug, kind of act like they didn't happen. And then another person who's like explosive and reactive. Those are a perfect coupling on toxicity. What's the advice here? Page of Cups, Queen of Swords, King of Cups, Star, Aquarius energy, Eight of Pentacles, High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces. At the bottom of the deck, I have the Seven of Pentacles. The Page of Cups, I feel like even though you're an emotional person, you feel emotions. I feel like you're not real good at talking about your feelings. There's something here where you actually have to open up and be vulnerable to this person and actually tell them what it is that you need or want or what's going to make it right. Because how the hell else can they do that? And there's almost like this, I don't know, maybe you don't know how to tell somebody what you need until they're not, or even what you want until they're just not meeting something, some unexpected, unreasonable expectation of them, because you haven't even communicated your need. And when they're not meeting it, you're bugging out about that. That's when they find out what it is that you need. That's a little too late in the game. I feel like this is really kind of like expressing that almost like the energy that you put out there in this is what you're going to get back. If you can have a calm, cool, collected conversation with someone about what your needs are and how to meet them, it's probably likely to get somewhere with that. But if you sort of explode and react heavily and sort of just point the finger, nothing's going to really change, especially if the other person is doing the same thing. But I feel like here it's like there needs to be changes made on both parts. But that again requires sort of opening up emotionally, stating what it is that you feel, how you feel, what you need, and also being able to hear about yourself. So again, the advice is sort of like what I was saying here, where you have to be able to hear someone else's truth about you and from their perspective. That's this mentalization energy. Not just from your point of view, not just from how you feel about things, not just from what you think happened. Um, Again, this energy to me is the wisdom of being able to also be quiet and listen. It's heavy on this. I'm, again, not judging. Most people, they defend themselves before, they react before they really just listen. And I feel like your challenge this month is to not do that and like hear someone out very clearly. I hope this was helpful. See you guys.